What is up guys, my name is Boss. Welcome to another video. So I just released a video about me beating Goblin City the first time, and well, I said in the video that it was somewhat budgeted gear, but most of you guys think that I'm actually rocking pretty good gear. So well, in my opinion, you guys are right. But I did say that I was rocking average gear instead of Uber gear. So in my opinion, Uber gear would be something like this: the legendary Emperor's Countenance, which is insanely good, or something like this set here, like just standard, more than 330 each. I think that's pretty good, but I don't really consider things like a coat of scales to be a very rare, that so good you just can't get. Well, this is totally not true, because this coat of scales are very easily to farm from Henge Knights, from armory. So basically you can just buy them out, or maybe just get a follow the tracks quests, or maybe some other like clear a bandit camp contracts. You can get these very easy. You just, all you need to do is just dagger the Henge Knights down. That's it. So anyways, I figure I'm just gonna make another video, just basically run through my roster, like just introduce my company. So basically, alright, the first guy I'm gonna mention is Ruff the Lionheart. Obviously he's with the company since the very beginning. He took part in 276 battles and has 587 kills. Let's check his perks. So he's rocking Colossus. The reason why I run Colossus is because he's a Limbo guy. Limbo, right? So Colossus and Student. Second tier have Fortified Mind. This is debatable. I will come to that later. And Gifted. The reason why I'm rocking Gifted is because he's the very first, one of the very first brothers I have. So basically, in my theory, I should give my early bros Gifted to have more stats, but this guy turns out to be very gifted, like a very talented bro. He's actually rocking 99 melee skills at the moment with a 2-star. I reckon that's pretty good. So third row, I'm rocking Rotation. Rotation is universally recognized as the best skill, as best perk you can get, because Rotation saves lives. Simple as that. And he's a hammer specialist. I'm rocking Reach Advantage, Underdog, Limbo, of course, Berserk, and Killing Frenzy. And let's check his background, okay? His companion, and he has Bloodthirsty, which means every kill, if the weapon allows, will be a fatality kill. That prevents a lot of things from respawning and stuff like that. Very good. And this is huge. He's Iron Gnome. He's actually the only Iron Gnome guy I have. So Iron Gnome, what it does is basically it recovers 4 fatigue every turn, plus the basic default 15, so it's 19 per turn, which is huge. Like if you just spend your, let's say, smite each round, you actually recover 7 extra fatigue points. So it's just simple as that. It's just amazing talent. Iron Gnome is just amazing. Alright, and look at his stats. He's got 99 melee skills, which is pretty good. 35 melee defense is just average, not very good, not very low, average. And given his level 18, I mean, he leveled twice after the Goblin City, so I did, when I did the Goblin City, he's level 16. He's got 125 hit points. Hit points are something very important for Limbo Bros, because if you check the Limbo perk explanation, it reduces the damage taken on your hit points. So, which basically translates to the more hit points you have, the tankier your bros is gonna be. And I know that Limbo has been nerfed twice already. Used to be 75, which is, in my opinion, too overpowered. And Rough the Lionheart was basically unkillable with 75 damage reduction on top of 125 hit points. But right now, with only 60% damage reduction, I feel like he's not that tanky at all. And also, you have to understand that Limbo Bros have some very bad matchups. A few things I can think about is that against cleavers, Limbo Bros are very bad, because cleavers can hit the cleavers has a lot of damage to hit points, like the percentage of damage ignores armor very high, so which means cleavers can do a lot of hit point damage. On top of that, cleavers also do bleed damage, which also directly damage your hit points, so which is pretty bad in general. That's the first thing. And then Limbo Bros are very weak against goblins in general, because they barely have any armor, which means they are very easily to be poisoned, which basically makes them have only 6 action points per round, and other negative effects as well. So, and on top of that, because of lack of armor, the arrows are more likely to do the direct hit point damage, and with the nerf to Limbo, which translates to more damage taken and easily to die. So when I take the Goblin fight, for example, I don't take Rough at all. I just put Rough in reserve, basically. I think that covers this guy. So this is my hammer specialist, and well, I switch my two-handed weapon. Depends on the fight I'm taking, but mostly I'm gonna keep Rough on the hammer, and the hammer actually got me almost 600 kills, which is pretty good. Alright, and I'm just gonna chuck in there. The second guy I'm gonna do is another companion, which is Erhat, the eagle. So he's also a Limbo guy as well. He's rocking warbow, and it's just a pure archer. So let's run his perks as well. He's got Colossus, he's got Student, he's got Bullseye. Bullseye is very important in my opinion. He's got Gifted, he's got Anticipation, and he's got Bow Mastery, he's got Overwhelm, he's got Berserk, he's got Limbo, he's got Killing Frenzy. I think the only perk I want to change for a late game archer would be, because this is obviously my companion archer. I have him since the very beginning of the company. He's got 372 kills, which is pretty decent. Translates to almost 1.5 kills per battle. So I would change Gifted to either Fast Adaptation or Executioner. So this is also debatable, but I would lean towards Fast Adaptation because basically Fast Adaptation is gonna shine when you need to counter your enemy's range target, like bandit marksman or any goblin, like ambushers or goblin overseers and stuff like that, or goblin shaman like that. Because basically, you can just add more chance to hit. Right. So not much to say. He's got 99 range skill, which is pretty good, very very good. He's got 36 range defense, which is also quite decent in my opinion. On top of the anticipation, he's basically untouchable by any sort of range attack whatsoever. So I'm quite happy, and also because of Limbo. Oh, sorry, I also missed the Headhunter. So Headhunter is a must in my opinion for archers, because it just gives you the chance to basically one-shot someone with your arrow, and like basically it just translates to more damage in the long run. And yeah, and for my archers, I like to have decent resolve. Like for all the brothers except my sergeants, I tend to keep them around 15-ish resolve. Not too high, because that's obviously not really needed, not too low as well. So I think around 15 is nice. So I need to work on his resolve in the future. Maybe just bring the resolve up to all the way to 50, in my opinion. And yeah, I just think about something about Rough. So about Rough, the perk I think I would change in the future would be Gifted or Fortified Mind, because he's a nimble bro. His fatigue is not good. Like this is with really just 16 fatigue minus, and he's already down to 76. So he doesn't have a lot of fatigue to work around. So I'm gonna keep him as a nimble bro. So this is basically a nimble two-hander, and the perk I want to change is Gifted to probably a Sword Mastery, because you will want to. So basically, you want your two-handers to be flexible about weapon choices, and Sword Mastery is actually a must-get in my opinion. Obviously now for Ralph it's too late to regret, but I may still have hope, because I can just kill the Kraken and get that reset potion, but that's the long story. So right now that's gonna be the story in the future, because I haven't defeated Kraken yet. But for now I think I would, if I do want to change, I would swap Gifted to Sword Mastery. And because he's a nimble bro, so basically he doesn't need Brawny and he doesn't need Battle Forge. So I may change Fortified Mind as well, because when I pick Fortified Mind, I was seeing an impression that he will never die because he has 75 damage reduction. But right now it turns out he's actually quite squishy. So right now I think if you want to build a proper nimble two-hander, you wanna just basically swap these two into Indomitable and Sword Mastery basically. And if you want your two-hander to be like a specialist in one weapon type, maybe just pick one of this maybe one of the weapon mastery and dump another point into backstab. I think backstab is actually quite decent, because it just gives you that much more chance to hit. Because even though it's like almost 100 melee skills, you're still gonna miss in a lot of situations, like maybe in the swamp, or maybe you have a morale hit. So then in this game there are a lot of things can affect your melee skill. So basically for melee skill, the more you have, the better. Alright, so that's it about this character. Just chop them back in. And obviously I'm still working in progress. I have 3 very talented melee bros, all just pretty much fresh. I need to work on later. I'm just gonna introduce them later when I have them properly made. Right, so basically right now I'm gonna introduce another companion, which is I have no idea how to pronounce this. Egbert. Alright, Egbert the Imperishable. The reason why is because he's a shield bro, obviously. Alright, so he's my mace tank, basically. So he's rocking closest, he's rocking recovery, student, gifted, shield expert, rotation, mace mastery, underdog, limbo, berserk, and killing frenzy. So this is my limbo shield tank with mace mastery and very decent melee skill as well. As you can see, 97, but he's on level 16. So anyways, let's check. He has 126 hit points, 83 fatigue with semi-crap fatigue, armor and helm. So basically his fatigue is not very nice either. And his companion, he has dexterous, which plus 5 melee skill, which is one of the best background perks in the game. He's fearless, which is also very good. That actually makes him 63 resolve. That's without fortified mind. And I didn't dump anything into resolve for him. He's already this high, so which is also very good. And yeah, obviously he's gonna rock a shield. I normally just use one of these shields, or maybe just the link wound shields as well. But obviously he's pretty good. He gets the job done, and he has very good melee defense. That's before the shield. Let's check how many. Like take example, like if I give him the Colossal Bastion, he's gonna rock 67 melee defense, which is way enough. Right, for the perks, I think for late game limbo tank, I mean, I don't recommend limbo tank, but you guys get the impression, because when I built this guy, limbo was like the god tier. Like, if you want to just beat the game very easily, you should build every single brothers in like with the limbo perk. But right now it's not the case. Anyways, so if right now you want to build a proper limbo tank which does damage, obviously, I think you're gonna swap gifted into that's actually a good question. Let me think. I'm actually not sure. I think you could do Pathfinder, but I don't like Pathfinder in general. And I think you can go with Steel Brawl, or maybe you can go. If you use Axe, you can go with Headhunter, but with Mace, it's just better to build defensive. So I would probably go with, because Steel Brawl, I don't think with Limbo it gives you that much benefit, because the percentage damage, the percentage damage on your hit point will not be affected that much. Like for example, if you take a crossbow on your head for a Battleforged dude, he would most likely take wounds because his hit point is very low. But for Limbo dudes, you're not gonna take that much damage, and you just walk right through it with an arrow in your head. Basically, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, I would probably take maybe Backstab, or if you want to go offensive, or you can even take Indomitable, but I don't think that's needed for Shield Brawl. But you can take it if you want to build a super tanky Limbo tank, because right now I think Limbo with Indomitable is still very insane. Like if you pop Indomitable every turn without using your damage attack, you actually just gonna sit there and tank everything, and with no trouble whatsoever. So I think with this dude you can take Indomitable. Alright, let's check this guy, Budwing the Gladiator. So obviously this is my duelist. This is the only duelist I have, and that's because of this weapon here. I have a famed Orc axe, but right after this axe I got this insane cleaver, which is way better, much higher base damage, like just 50 to 90 is just amazing damage, and also very good damage against armor as well. But let's see, this guy is basically a axe duelist, so let's check his perks. So I took Colossus because I got this guy fairly early, and I just didn't build him, but I took Colossus. And right now I really want to get rid of Colossus, obviously. So Colossus, Recover, Student, Brownie, Axe Mastery, obviously for the fatigue cost reduction, because you really need Axe Mastery to be able to swing the Orc Axe. And Underdog, Berserk, Headhunter, Battleforged, Duelist, Killing Frenzy. So not much to say. I think it's pretty standard, because for Axe Duelist you have to have the Headhunter, and it's a very beautiful thing to watch a Axe Duelist to just one shot, like maybe an Orc Warrior or maybe Berserker and stuff like that. It's just very satisfying. So for this particular build, I think I'm gonna just give up Colossus and take Indomitable, because Indomitable, in my opinion, is one of the, it's actually the best, in my opinion, is the best perk in the game, period. Just check the description. So basically it grants a 50% damage reduction. That's with every single thing, every type of damage attack is reduced by 50%, even the dots. And on top of that, you are immune to being stunned, knocked back, or grabbed. Imagine how good this is. Especially if you want to just spoiler alert. If you want to fight Kraken, my recommendation would be 12 Indomitable guys with very good, at least 90 melee skill, and you could just give every single one of them with long axe, and you just face roll Kraken. Basically, Indomitable, long axe, everybody with 90 melee skill, you're just gonna face roll Kraken, no problem whatsoever. Anyways, so that's my axe duelist. He's obviously very good, but he's only level 13, so he still got a lot of potential, because as you can see, he's barely 90 melee skill, which is considered to be very low for a late game character. And I think the reason why I took closest is because of his background. As you can see here, he's a brawler, and he's got Iron Jaw, which is very nice. Alright, so this guy is Greenwood the Mountain, and he's a maze specialist. So I got Recover, I got Student, I have Gifted, I have Brownie, I have Rotation, Hammer Mastery, Underdog, Berserk, Battleforged, Killing Frenzy, Indomitable, and he's a farmhand. He's got 97 melee attack, which is very good, but he's level 17 already. But for a farmhand, he's super talented, and he's got optimistic, obviously very good. Like, it just basically gives you +5 resolve at every single positive morale check, which is very nice. And his defense, his melee defense is actually pretty low. He's just gonna suffer from this forever. Like, I'm trying to level this up, but it is a pain. He's got 69 hit points for a two-hander, for a Battleforged two-hander. 69 is actually more than enough, in my opinion. Some would say you need to have at least 70, but it really doesn't matter, because for a Battleforged brothers, if you take some like ignore armor, like very heavy ignore armor hits, for example hits from two-handed hammer, two-handed axe, and very heavy palm arms, or maybe long axe and crossbow hits, you're gonna suffer injury, and you're gonna take a shitload of damage, like on your hit points. Anyways, and as you can see, he's got 2 stars in fatigue, which makes him super good. Like, with such high armor, he's still rocking 96 fatigue, which is actually incredible. And he's got 50 resolve, which is very satisfying as well. So I would say this is probably one of the best farmhands you can get in this game. Like, for a farmhand to be late game relevant, it's already impressive. It's already impressive, and Greenwood the Mountain is actually one of them. Alright, that's my hammer guy. So I'm gonna introduce another archer here. Adler the Death Caller. He's a hunter background. He's got 98 range skill at level 15, which is quite good. He's got 2 stars on it as well. He's got 21 range defense, which is considered to be very low in my opinion. He's still taking hits from goblins quite often. He's an imbo dude as well, right? So basically, I got closest, I got student, got bullseye, anticipation, got bow mastery, overwhelm, footworks to get out of the sticky situations, but in my opinion, I don't need that. I'll come back to this. Berserk, Limbo, Killing Frenzy. Alright. So for these perks, for a pure archer, I used to believe you have to have something to get away, but right now I think most likely in most situations you can just protect them without using footworks. So I would drop footworks for fast adaptation or maybe executioner, but I lean towards fast adaptation as I mentioned before. And yeah, that's about the student. Alright, so far so good. Now let's jump to this guy here. I'm just gonna line my guys up for introduction. Just maybe put them into categories so I can introduce them just together. Now let's check another hunter. Alright, so this is another hunter and he's only level 10. I'm trying to level another hunter and he's the one, and he's got hesitate, but which is okay. I mean, I don't really give any credit to initiative. I think it's probably one of the useless stats, but I mean, I could be wrong, but I just in my opinion I don't like hesitate. But swift is actually pretty good. +5 range defense is always nice for a hunter, like for an archer. So this is probably my complete hybrid build. As you can see, he's got 73 melee skill and 86 range skill, and he got 2 stars in fatigue, which gives him pretty good chance to be late game relevant. And he can use a lot of weapons, even when bags and belts got nerfed. Now if you carry a 2-hander, it actually will increase the fatigue. Anyways, so let's check the perks. Fast adaptation, as I mentioned before, I really like this on archer. Bags and belts, because he's a hybrid, I need to use a lot of stuff. Student, bullseye, quick hands, because he's a hybrid. Brownie, obviously after the nimble nerf, I think heavy armor is still the way to go, because you just basically survive that much longer. And bow mastery, obviously. Berserk, killing frenzy, and there's 2 more points. So I think I'm gonna put into headhunter, that's 1 point, and I'm gonna also put in to overwhelm. Well, for overwhelm, it's just something you get and you just really like it, because for your archers you're normally gonna act, even this guy has a hesitation, but you're still gonna act before those heavy hitting high armor units, and that's all you need. You just overwhelm them so they don't hit you. So basically in this game, especially in the late game, what you're gonna do is you're gonna build your melee defense so people don't hit you, and you're just gonna use your archers to overwhelm them, so that even lower the chance to hit you, like just basically put them to only 5% chance to hit you. That's the goal, right? So I think I like overwhelm a lot, but you can just agree to disagree. You can basically change this to anticipation, which is also a very good pick if you want to use your archer to just basically outgun goblins. I think anticipation is actually quite good for that, because especially when you have already very high range defense. But for me, I want to build this dude to be late game relevant, which means I plan to level this guy, go all the way up to like more than level 20. So basically the higher your character goes, the less you need anticipation. That's why I don't pick it. Alright, so after that, I'm just gonna do like this. So basically I'm gonna just finish off my two-handers real quick here. Alright, so next up I have Fritz the Kingslayer. He's my sword specialist, and he's also one of my early characters as well, been with the company for 257 days, and this is only 280 days campaign so far, so you can see he's very early. And he's got recovery, he's got student, he's got gifted, he's got rotation, brownie, sword mastery, underdog, battleforged, indomitable, killing frenzy, berserk, and he was a cell sword. He's got, as you can see, at level 18 he's got 103 melee skill, which is quite good. And his melee defense still very low, very low in my opinion, and he's just gonna suffer forever. But his fatigue actually quite decent. I mean, compared to Greenwood, who's got insane fatigue, he's okay, but he's already very good in this department. And for him also, for my late game two-hander, I tend to drop gifted for either backstab if you want to just master a single weapon, or you can get the hammer mastery, because in my opinion hammer and sword both are the most used two-handed weapon. Alright, so that's it for him. Next up you have Ike the Emperor because I got the Emperor's helm, so that's why I renamed him. Alright, he was a henge knight, one of the best background you can get. He's got Night Owl, which means he can see one more tile during the night, which is quite useless in my opinion for a melee character. He's got Dexterous, which plus 5 melee skill on Henge Knight, which is just crazy. So that's why on level 16 he's already got 104 melee skills, which is very nice. He's got okay hit points, okay resolve, and let's check his perks. So he doesn't have gifted obviously, but he got recover, student, brownie, 2 weapon masteries, but I picked axe because when I had axe, I was trying to basically debate whether I'm gonna get axe mastery or hammer mastery, and I picked the axe. But anyways, now if I gonna pick, I'm probably gonna pick hammer mastery, but axe is also good. I mean, not as good as hammer, but axe can just get the job done as well. Reach advantage, underdog, battleforged, indomitable, killing frenzy, berserk. That's it. So very solid, definitely gonna be late game relevant. Alright. And next up we have Markov the Legend. I got him very early as well. He's been with the company for 236 days as well, and he's got almost 500 kills, and he's my sword axe master. So I got Markov pretty much the same time I got Ike, so I just gave them both axe mastery, and for him I even gave him gifted, so which is, you know, double fail. But anyways, so pretty much all standard, but if I want to pick, I want to give that, I'll give up that, give up that. You can pick sword mastery, you can pick hammer, that's it. And he was a sword master. The reason why I picked a sword master is because he's got 3 stars in fatigue. Keep in mind that eventually your sword master is gonna get old. Old is probably one of the worst background trait you can get. You plus 10 resolve, which is okay, but minus 10 hit points, minus 10 fatigue, minus 10 initiative, minus 1 vision, which is pretty. It normally for a normal sword master character, the old trait is gonna just kill the build entirely, because for a Swordmaster getting old, your fatigue will never be relevant to be able to use Battleforge. But luckily for me, Markov was so talented that even with old trait, he still got 77 fatigue after the heavy armor, so which is basically a godsend. And for a Swordmaster, basically the melee skills and the melee defense skills are where the Swordmasters shine. So he's got the strongest melee skill out of the entire company, 107. He's got 39 melee defense, which is also very good. And okay hit points, I mean that's already minus 10. Okay fatigue, that's minus 10 as well. So yeah, that's it for Markov the Legend. And funny thing is, the Legend is actually what comes with him. Like I didn't change the name at all. Like he was called Markov the Legend, basically. Alright, this is my final 200, and he's only level 10, as you can see. He's fairly fresh, but I'm gonna introduce his background. So he was a retired soldier. He's got team player, which is okay, but I don't really think it's that relevant. He's got Death Wish, which is very good. No morale triggers upon losing hit points. And his hit points is the issue here. 44 is actually considered very low. In my opinion, it should have around 60 at least, but 44 is very squishy. But for a late game character, I think the more you level up, the less relevant your hit points gonna be, but you still need to put some points. I think my goal is to put some veteran points into hit points, bring him all the way up to maybe 55-ish. I think that would be decent. He's got insane melee skill. I think you can see 3 stars in it, and he's level 10. He's already got 96, which is very good. Melee defense, very good as well, 37. Very good fatigue, because he's got 3 stars in it as well. So OTO, this is probably one of my strongest 200 late game. Like one level further into veteran levels, he's just basically gonna get more and more stronger. He's got basically everything I want, like all the stars in the right place. Very gifted, bro. And for the perks, I'm just gonna give him 2 masteries, sword and hammer, and there's one more point. I think I need to dump into Killing Frenzy. Yes, Killing Frenzy. So yep, that's it for him. And this is the only pro-am guy. Like this is the only dedicated pro-am guy I have. The Mist Crusher. So basically, for him, he was a sellsword. He has Spartan, he has Bloodthirsty, Battleforged, and he's got 92 melee skills, 34 melee defense, very good range defense as well, so which means I can actually keep him at the back. Okay hit points, okay resolve. Alright, so for my pro-am guy, I gave him Recover, Student, Backstab, Anticipation because of very good range defense bonus, Brownie, pro-am Mastery, Reach Advantage, Underdog, Berserk, Battleforged, Killing Frenzy. So I think for a dedicated pro-am guy, this is actually a pretty good build. But for a late game guy, I'm probably gonna drop Anticipation and pick Indomitable, because you can actually just put this guy in the front and just do just as good. But as you can see, for a poem, I don't think it does that much damage. So in the long run, I'm gonna do some more tests. But currently, I believe that poem is actually quite weak compared to a standard two-handed guy. Like poem is actually in the same boat as a, because for me, I think a hybrid like this dude can just do the job of a poem guy. But for now, I'm just gonna keep my poem because he's actually quite talented. Alright, let's check my sergeants, shall we? So I got 2 sergeants. I'm gonna give this guy sergeant to see. Oops. Alright, there you go. Okay, so this is my new sergeant, Hard Mode Overlord. He's level 8 at the moment. He's a battle forged sergeant with very good resolve bonus, very good fatigue, very good melee defense. So the goal for this character is basically be a very tanky character. So I took student. I probably can take recover late, but right now I'm just gonna keep it without it. Fortified mind, anticipation. For this, I'm not too sure, which means I need to dump some points into range defense, but I'll pick anticipation for now. Brownie, ready the troops, battle forged, indomitable. So for my sergeant, I'm still looking for a very talented bro to do the job, but at the moment I think he's gonna do the job. And this is my original, not the OG sergeant. he was a limbo bro. So I took closest, student, fortified mind, gifted, backstab, anticipation, rotation, ready the troops, poem, mastery, berserk, limbo. So as you can see, he did okay. He's having 1.2 killing ratio, so I think he's pretty good, and he was very talented in resolve department. As you can see here, if I give him both this, he's actually pretty insane. Alright, give him that, give him that. As you can see, he has 130 resolve, and on top of that he's got 142 hit points, with like originally with the 75 damage reduction he was unkillable, but right now, I mean, even though he has a ton of health, he's still very squishy. That's the main reason I'm looking for a new sergeant, because I think I'm quite weak in this department. I mean, he's definitely very good in terms of resolve and ready the troops, but I'm still looking for a more talented bro who can suck more damage, because for me, my sergeant need to just constantly rotate into sticky situation and take the blows. So I think a battle forged indomitable sergeant is definitely needed for my company, I think. Alright, so I introduced both of them in a row. Let's just keep them, and finally the 2 more guys to go. We're almost there. So Kurt, the Orc Slayer. Alright, I got him for 287 days. So basically I got this guy on day 1, even though he's not a companion. And he was my X limbo tank. Alright, so closest, recover, student, gifted, shield expert, rotation, X mastery, underdog, limbo, headhunter, berserk. So not much to say. I think it's just basically I mean, he's very gifted as well. He's got 93 melee skill, and he's got decent resolve, very good hit point, and not so much fatigue, but okay-ish. So yeah, I think he's pretty good. With a shield, he's got 66 melee defense, which is also a lot. So yeah, he's decent, but not great. If I'm in a position to replace him, I would, but for now I'm just gonna keep it. And last but not the least, the tank. Nat Rich is my best tank. So the reason why is because he's a Battleforge tank. Alright? So he's got closest, he's got recover, student, gifted, fortify mind, shield expert, brownie, rotation, underdog, Battleforged. For now, I think this is a perfect tank build. If not, I'm gonna I think I'm gonna drop gifted for taunt. Yes, I think taunt just provides a lot of options. Like for example, you can taunt a berserker. So just basically have the control over the damage, where the damage going. Also, you can taunt a lot of, like for example, you can taunt Orc Warrior, so they don't knock back your guys and break into your formation. You can taunt Orc Warlord, so you can basically deny the screaming from the Orc Warlord, and also you can deny a lot of good stuff as well. And there are many situations I think taunt are very good, and the most beautiful thing for taunt is it actually has no melee attack check, which means every taunt is gonna land, and it's super good. Alright, basically that wraps up the entire complaint I have, and it's gonna be a long video, but I think it's pretty much worth it, and I'm really thirsty right now, so I'm just gonna go and grab a drink, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.